Lisa, welcome back to Podcastina.
Hi. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much. I don't even know if it's the same show, but we talked like a couple years ago on what was the first iteration of this show about lake life.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh God. Lake life is the best life. I need to get back to that.
Yeah.
I might have to quit comedy and be like a day trader or something.
I mean, honestly, my initial ambition for moving to Marina Del Rey was to make a boat friend and live that life.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Can I just jump into a story?
Please.
Can I tell you? Years ago, I was just like not in a great place in my life. I just wasn't happy with my life. And I'm like just kind of throwing anything at the wall. Like maybe I'll start doing this as a hobby, or maybe I'll do this. I'll hang out here. And I was like, I really wanted to learn how to sail, but I didn't have money for classes. And I thought, well, people need crews to sail. You can't just sail on your own, really. I mean, okay, technically you can. Leave me alone. But I'm like, everybody needs somebody on the boat to sail. So I thought I'll just sign up for a sailing club and volunteer to crew. And that's how this will work out. I just like had that. So, I went on meetup.com as a young woman living in Los Angeles, not an elderly woman. And I found the Women's Sailing Club of Marina Del Rey. It was a $90 a year membership. And I was like, done. I got it. I sign up. I go, first of all, day one, I roll into this like sailing club I think I had on like jeans, navy blue shirt, boat shoes. I bought boat shoes for the occasion. I was like, we're going heavy theme. No, some kind of cheap, I don't know.
Knockoff Sperry.
Yeah, exactly. Knockoff Sperry. They didn't fit me right because my feet are very wide. Hello. And I joined this club. I learn how to sail exactly as I thought. I was like, people would be, there'd be a sign up sheet and it'd be like, whoever wants to go out with Beth or whatever, she's taking her boat out. These are the details. This is how many people she needs, whatever. And because I was new, I got priority, or at least actually, as I'm saying that, I think it was because I'm new. It might not have been. Because I was about 15 years younger than the next youngest person. And I would go to these meetings in this is how much I wanted to get away from my life at the time. I would go to meetings where they're talking about like the cost of boat slips going up. And I'm just like, yes. Like, like eating this spaghetti buffet. And, I mean, I didn't realize until, sorry, because I have to do a little act out for you. I didn't realize until about 11 and a half months in, half months in, that it was a lesbian sailing club. Apparently that's what, if you're like looking to join an organization, if it's like women only, there's your first clue. And I figured this out only when the like president of it or leader or whatever, captain, who was a very butch woman. And by the way, I was like at all these meetings and I'm like, wow, there's no men here. You would think these women would bring their husbands to these meetings. Wasn't picking up on everybody being super butch either. Not everybody, but a lot of them. I mean, these ladies are fixing boats on the weekend, and
hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. So I'm at one of the meetings and I was like turned. So like my side was at the table where, my spaghetti dinner was. And this woman, the captain, whatever, the butch woman, pulls up a folding chair in front of me and with her legs straddles my legs. So one is between my legs and grabbed my thigh. And she goes, "It is so good to see you. I'm so glad you made it out." And I was like, oh my God. Lesbian sailing club. Like it just hit all at once. Of course I didn't freak out. I was like, of course I'm here. I'm here every week. Obviously this is where I hang out. And then in spite of that, I still signed up to volunteer to decorate one of the boats for somebody had a huge boat. for Christmas, and we were in the Christmas parade, and I just like went by myself and just kind of sat by myself on the boat, and it was like very festive, and everyone brought their partners, and I was just kind of like up in the bow by myself. Riding around at night in the Christmas parade, and we won, by the way, best decorated boat. Yeah, I didn't re-up my membership.
Are they taking applications?
They might be. Look into it. I mean, I was like in my late 20s then. Going on meetup.com really was my first.
Yeah, that should have been the hint.
First bad move. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not mad about it. I'm not afraid of lesbians or something. It was just I am the last to find out anything. I have no clue ever. It's pretty embarrassing.
That's so funny though. Yeah. Would feel so unbothered. I don't know that I've ever been hit on by a lesbian.
I think I wasn't. It was like, oh my God, what the fuck? How did I not notice? How did I not even like ramp up to noticing? It was like 0 to 100. It was like not noticing at all. And then all of a sudden, wow, okay. That's me with my whole life. Real ding dong shit.
Well, the innocence.
Never a clue.
You know?
Yeah, it's, I am also like the most gullible person, and it sucks. Please don't play pranks on me because I believe it every time.
Do you fall for conspiracy theories?
No, not really. Only because they're all connected to the government, and they all require a certain level of competence that I don't think the United States government is capable of reaching.
Yeah,
you know, like when
you.
people were like talking about COVID being a conspiracy, and they're like, they have all these people coordinated, and I'm like, okay, yeah. Trump is keeping a secret with 100 and some world leaders. Mm-hmm. Probably, yeah. They're all keeping a secret together. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, so that I don't know. I guess I have access to logic.
You do.
But
yeah.
Thank God. But yeah, boat life, best life. All that said, by the way, sailing is not for me. It's too much. I want to cruise on a pontoon or like a catamaran or a speedboat. Like, I don't want to. We're pulling too many ropes and shit. Yeah. And also, I don't know how to, like, I know how to read waves. Like, I know how to maneuver a boat through different weather situations as far as waves go, but I grew up on a lake. It wasn't like high seas winds. Yeah. So, and I don't know how to read the wind. I'm like, well, I can't see it. So I can barely tell which way it's coming from if it's blowing me over, you know? Anyway. So yeah.
I have really dropped the ball on making boat friends while I've lived here.
You gotta just go out there and just stand. You're so cute. Just stand at the end of a pier and be like,
I've honestly tried. I go with him, and he's so much cuter than I am. And, you know, there's always some kind of party going on. Try to walk him by there, and I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I have another boat story out here if you want it.
I do.
One time I was out in the marina. My friend and I were doing that exact thing. We were just kind of trolling and here's the thing. I really had high hopes for this because I grew up on a lake and we had a long pier, and my friends and I in the summer would just like lie out on the pier in bikinis and flag guys down and be like, we want to ride. And that works.
Of course.
If some guys like flying by on a jet ski, like a jet ski is way more likely to pick you. The number of jet skis I did actually when I was in Dubai, I was out on a boat and some guy on a jet ski pulled up and was like trying to hit on me. We were like anchored, and I just took off with him. I don't. I'm like, this guy doesn't even speak English. But I did. I asked him because people don't. So I've been a licensed boat driver since I was 9. My parents used to own a marina. I don't know. I keep looking to camera. That's super weird. Like we're on a talk show and I'm addressing the audience, the at-home audience. Oh, so I've been driving since I was 9, and people don't expect that. Mm-hmm. And so I asked, I was like, sure, I'll go with you, but can I drive? And he's like, yeah, because they don't expect they would expect a woman to just be like, "Pup, pup, 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 pup," you know. And we get around the boat, and I just fucking gunned it. It's fat, and he was screaming, he's like, stop, 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 take me back. And he wanted me off of there as soon as
On
possible.
the jet ski?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
And everybody on the boat was like dying laughing. This guy was just like, couldn't handle it. He was like, get me away from this stupid white woman. Wait, did I have another? Was I in the middle of another story and then telling you that? Oh, yeah. My friend and I were walking around the marina. God, I interrupt myself constantly. And I just thought it would be funny to like take a little tour, give myself a little tour of somebody's yacht. So I did. There was like an unattended one. There was no gate. And I was like, Sarah, let's fucking hang out on the boat. And we went on and we were like taking photos and stuff. And I was like in the driver's seat and I had my car keys in my pocket of my shorts and it didn't look good in the photo. It looked lumpy. So I took them out and I threw them on the seat. And we took some photos and left, and I forgot my fucking keys. And like we're walking around, and then we come back to like go to the car, and I was like, "Fuck, my car keys!" And I'm like, "Oh no, they're on the boat." And we go back to the boat, and the owner was then on the boat. And I was like, "Hey, hi, I left my car keys on your boat," and he's like, "No, I think you're mistaken. Like I just got here. You definitely have not been on my boat." And I'm like, yeah, well, actually I was.
Was he pissed?
He seemed really disappointed. He didn't like yell at me or anything, but I was like, oh yeah, they're on the driver's seat. And he's like, and like went and got them and silently handed them to me. And I was like, thanks, bye.
Well, lesson to him about security.
Yeah. Also, just take me on the boat.
Yeah.
I'm fun. I wonder if he was like, what the fuck was she doing on
probably
here?
So
like,
confused.
Yeah, he was probably more confused than anything. You know, and I know this is only something like probably a white lady can get away with, but sorry, I did it.
I mean, if you can, you should. No, terrible advice. Now I'll look to camera. Don't do that. Don't listen to me.
That's how I feel about stealing from your boss. I mean it.
I would do that though with a jet ski because I've been on one once and I got to drive and it was honestly like maybe the most fun I've ever had thrilling. Outside of drugs at EDM shows.
God. It's so fun. Yeah. It's so fun. I need to talk to you later about drugs at EDM shows because I've done that once, but I need to get into the circuit. I don't know if they're posting it on meetup.com or
I don't know. I rarely go now. It was definitely something I was partaking a lot more in when I was like college age.
Oh, sure.
But a couple years ago, I got to do stand up at EDC. In 2022.
Whoa, that sounds so fun.
It was fun because of everything that came with the gig. The gig itself was absolute hell because it was during the day at EDC campgrounds. Everyone that attended, probably like 200 people were in our tent attending. However, everyone was either still fucked up from the night before.
Oh boy, yeah.
Or just like, you know, experiencing heat exhaustion, zonked out, asleep. You know, it's Las Vegas desert during the day in May. And so it was like really, really hard. And it was like 20 minutes. Like I was working.
That's so long.
I was working.
That is so long, yeah.
But the perks were that I got an artist pass to EDC. Which I had paid to attend, like general admission to that festival before. I would love to go again. So getting to go and having that kind of authority to walk around and be like backstage everywhere, it was so fun.
Nice. That's really fun. I did the last couple of Warped tours and I'm doing the one also in November. And
I would love to do that.
God, so it was so fun and I was dreading it because I'm like a fucking 11:30 a.m. set.
But all outside. The perks.
But people, and also like people weren't, first of all, they're not, all the big bands obviously played later at night, all the like major headliners. So it worked out better to not be in competition with them. And people were just showing up there and they were kind of like looking for cool different things to check out because they weren't necessarily big fans of the bands that were on. And so we got good crowds, great reception. People bought merch. Like
That's
it was
awesome.
it was really fun in a way that I was like, oh God, this is going to be rough. And I don't know, it was really nice. But yeah, the perks of like, that was the first music festival I went to when I was growing up. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. I can't believe, like, all my friends from high school were like, what the fuck? You're doing Warped Tour? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm confused about it.
I'd be that way too, because I used to go to Warped Tour growing up.
Yeah. It was so fun. And there should be more festivals booking comedians, and not just the famous ones, guys. Okay. Book us. I mean, we're famous. We're on Galina's Podcastina.
Yeah.
So
I would fangirl. I mean, I don't know what the lineups are of Warped Tour these days, but I feel like I would fangirl so hard that I would embarrass myself.
yeah, I don't know what anyone looks like. So I was just like, oh, that guy's definitely in a band. Like there's people that were like dressed up to the point where you're like, oh, that's gotta be a musician or somebody having a mental episode. Really, the line's pretty thin. But when you see them backstage, you're like, oh, and it could be both. And in some cases it is. But yeah, it was really, I don't know, it was really fucking cool. It was cool to get free food and booze.
The whole thing, it's just every once in a while you get a gig. I had a gig, again, like hell gig for me. Shouldn't have been stand up at this thing, but it was like a daytime surf competition down in San Diego that also had a bunch of like different stages for entertainment at it. And I was excited because I'm like a big fan of surfing, and I had never been to like a professional surf competition before. And so that was fun to attend and watch. And it was like junior women's. And the girl that had won it went on to like smash it on like World Surf League the following year.
Awesome.
And I got to open for Hoobastank. So yeah, I went on. None of the other comedians wanted to do it because they saw how hard it was. Because at the time when I was going on, it was like 12-year-olds and not a lot of them. And I'm on this massive sound stage built for a band, right? Like Offspring was supposed to be there, but they fell off at the last minute. It was all these like cool, interesting big bands that were there. And then it was supposed to be like 4 comedians. And I was the only one that was like enthused because I was excited about the surfing.
Yeah.
And so I went up and basically just did like 15 minutes of crowd work to 12-year-olds because it's all I could do. Like I could not do any material. Everyone was like confused. You know, none of those people had ever seen stand up before. So I just like
they're
did
still
my
learning
best.
vocabulary.
Exactly.
And stuff. Their brain's still forming.
Yeah, I had to grit my teeth and get through it. But now I get to be like, oh, well, I opened for Hoobastank. And by the way, I watched them and they were awesome.
That's great. That's fantastic. And you're like, oh, I'm your opener now. So respect me. It is so fun and so, I don't know, weird because I'm also like, at Warped Tour, both of the ones so far, they had a gifting suite, and you like go through the gifting suite and they check off your name and they're like, oh, choose a pair of sunglasses you like, and I'm like, this is so bizarre. I don't know, but so fun. So fun. And it was like every single one of them we get a new pair of Vans, and every single one we get like sunglasses and t-shirts, and
so I'm like, my mind.
Right. And I like collected some stuff for friends so far, and then
I'm gonna have to get you my shoe size.
All of it. Yeah, right. Yeah, fun stuff. That's awesome. And you surf
poorly,
right?
but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've surfed I believe 3 times. So I don't even know if poorly is a fair way to describe it because it's worse than that. It's pretty bad.
It took me so long of going very consistently. It took me probably 2 years of going consistently before I could like consistently catch waves.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't have fucking time every day, especially like I live all the way in Hollywood and I don't have a vehicle at all right now because of something I can't talk about on social media.
Oh, you'll have to tell me about it after.
Yeah. But I was driving like a Kia Forte, not really outfitted for a surfboard.
Yeah, that's rough. Although I've seen people strap all sorts of things
Sure.
onto the roof of their cars.
I mean, yeah, I could hypothetically. It was also hard because I was on I just sold it finally, but I was using like a foam board that you learn with, but they're good for getting up and for being out and for learning to balance and all that, but they're trash for getting out past the waves because you can't like duck dive or anything.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like being slapped in the face by the surfboard, and
and
like,
that's mostly what I still surf with. I'm 5 years into surfing, and that's mostly what I take out. I have one board that I take, like the conditions have to be good for it to be good out there. But I haven't gone a lot this year because my 3 favorite surf spots were all severely ruined. And now I see people surfing at like 2 of them, but I don't know that I could sit in the lineup on a surfboard and be surfing and looking at the devastation that used to be people's homes. I just don't think I could like surf those spots anymore without that occupying my brain and like kind of taking me out of it.
Tough.
So
that is really tough.
It's been a little harder this year.
I haven't driven over that. That used to be like a big. I worked in Malibu for a little while at Marmalade Cafe years ago. Also, at a time I was living in Burbank at the time, and I was just like, I have to get out of my life. Like a friend of mine was managing it, so they hired me to just work there like once a week. I kind of loved it. I love Malibu so much because you think
it's
like
beautiful.
moving from rural Indiana, you think it's like full of celebrities like dressed up or something. I don't know. You think of it as like this glamorous place, and then it's like, I mean, the cross country market, that area has changed a lot and is more like high end stores now, but it's very like small town. People have been there for generations. Everyone knows everyone, and people are like rolling into lunch and barefoot with wet hair, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. It's like very, I don't know.
It's easy to romanticize, and it's kind of similar to us getting to do these random festivals too, where I feel like some part of my inner child heals when I get to do stuff like that, because
absolutely.
It's so important for me to make sure that little me thinks adult me is cool.
Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. And that's like something, to keep in mind, to help keep perspective on things if I think a lot of people do that. A lot of the healthy brain people.
Don't accuse me of being healthy brained.
But like if you're like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Or why didn't I get this? Or whatever. And then it's like, oh yeah. When I was a kid, I would not have imagined, half the shit going on. I would have been like, there's simply no way.
Yeah.
That's not true.
What's something you're looking forward to right now?
Well, funny you should ask. I just announced like 90 minutes ago that I'm releasing my special.
Congratulations.
Thank you. On the 17th. It has been a very long road. I cannot believe how fucking long everything took. Well, partially, and this is not a criticism of anyone, but I have a very well done special, regardless of what anybody thinks of my comedy. It's professionally shot. Like we had made it with the intention to pitch to Netflix, which by the way, they loved it, but they said I'm not famous, so they're not going to take it. Rude. So they liked it. So you should watch it on my YouTube channel. Actually, we got all positive feedback, but it was like ready. It was shot in a way that it was ready to drop on a streamer. Very high quality. And my entire team volunteered their time because they were like, we believe in you and we're going to take a chance that this is going to sell. And if it sells, then we'll get paid. And if not, then we're still proud of this. And I had a fucking Grammy winning composers offered to do like an original score for it.
So cool.
And I'm like, it's so fucking crazy to me that all came together that way. But all of that to say, because everyone was doing it on spec, it would be like we send it off to somebody for their phase of the thing, and they're like, oh, I'm on a paid job right now, I'll get to it in 2 weeks. And it just kept, I mean, I filmed it December 14th 2023, So quite a while ago.
Yeah, I figured because I remember talking to you about it like around
Yeah.
Christmas of last year when you were like,
Yeah.
oh, we're shopping it around, but there's so many
Yeah.
other blonde female comedians pitching specials that it was like getting in the way.
And I was like, oh no. Yeah. And I really got in my head about that.
But how could you not?
Yeah,
Because they
especially
put it
'cause
in
I'm
your
like-
head, right? Like
yeah,
the
and I'm
powers
like,
that be
I
put it in your head.
fucking love them.
Mhm.
You know, I'm pitching at the same time as people whose comedy I fucking love and who have way bigger followings than me. Spoiler, theirs got picked up. And mine is on my YouTube channel, but I'm not even mad about it. Like I was kind of feeling a way about it initially where I was like, fuck, it seems like it's going to have to go to YouTube. And then every stream, I think we were talking about this right before we started recording, but every streamer was like, yeah, everything's going to YouTube. Like, please don't, if you drop it on your YouTube channel, there's nothing wrong with that. And by the way, they just passed on a couple of huge, like one person with like a 5 million person following on Instagram or some crazy shit like that. And they didn't option that person's special. I'm trying to keep their gender out of it too, so you can't get any clues. I'll tell you later. That's for the Patreon. So sign up because I'm gonna be spilling all kinds of
Patreon.com/podcastina. Help me pay the bills, please, please, please.
You're gonna have to pay like $50 for this. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really proud of it. I never want to see it again. I watched it so many goddamn times. So many times for edits. And I'm just like the first 1 million times I watched it for like cuts between, because we did 2 shows. So for just the edits, I was able to, because I was only watching for that and I wasn't paying attention to myself at all. That was easier. And then when we did a sound pass, it's like, I'm like, how many times was I like, you know, like that's all you hear? Or like I'll like laugh through my nose where I'm like, and I'm like, ew, can we take that out? And 0 people watching it are gonna notice that. Except
can we remove
for
all
you
the
guys.
parts where I'm being a human being?
Yeah, just ew, you can hear that I'm alive and breathing. Yuck.
I do that with this show. I'll
it's so
hear
bad.
myself exhale and I'll like delete it in post or turn it down and I'm like, this is so ridiculous. Nobody else cares. Nobody
No one
else
else.
cares.
Also, I think you could, if I had a friend who would really edit the shit out of their podcast to where they would edit out anyone saying, like,
I only do it if it's excessive. I've had people who just don't have podcasting experience. No, not. It'll be mostly the more kind of academics that I have on the show because I reach out to a lot of random people who are not experienced in podcasts, but I think they're fascinating and they have like an online
I did
presence.
the same thing with my,
Yeah, but they're used to like short form because I usually find these people
Yeah.
on TikTok. And so when we go to record, if I notice it's excessive then I take some out, but I always leave some because I don't want it to sound unnatural. And I've only had to do it at times where it's like, oh fuck, I'm noticing it. So I try not to be too compulsive.
God bless you. I never edited anything out of mine unless somebody said something and they're like, "Ooh, can you take that out? I didn't mean to say like my mom's a cunt and I hope she dies," you know? And I'm like, that's a weird thing to slip on. But okay. Yeah, but I think if you over edit it, sorry, I'm getting in the weeds here, but if you over edit, it can start to have that uncanny valley thing where it's like, this doesn't even sound like people, which is why I mispronounce things all the time and make weird breaths
having
and
a
stuff.
human moment.
Yeah, just, you know.
Just a little.
Guys.
Also, Patreon content.
Listen, for the Patreon listeners, one of my tits keeps coming out of my dress. You're going to want to sign up for that. I'll flash. Depending on the level you sign up for, I will or will not show
Tier 2
nip.
only, guys. Tier 2 only.
Tier 2. Yeah, and we're going to create another tier for nips.
That's what's going to pay my rent next year. Come on, guys. I don't want to be a notary anymore, please.
Oh, God. It's so funny that you're a notary. That seems like I don't know. I think of that as like an old-timey traveling salesman.
It is. And I've been told that I will show up to someone's house and they'll be like, we were expecting a diabetic man in his 60s, you know?
We thought you would smell like Gardettos. Weird.
Well, because I think some people Anyone who hasn't seen Parks and Rec, have you?
Oh yes. Uh-huh.
So Larry, Gary, Jerry, he was a notary, remember?
Oh yeah.
And that's the only representation we've gotten on television as far as I'm concerned. And I already had my notary license by the time that show was ending. And I just thought it was so funny the way they played into him being a notary. And like, spoiler alert, when he dies at the end and they have his funeral, they have a bunch of notaries give him a 21 stamp salute. And that shit is so funny.
Really funny.
I cried laughing, and like only another notary would think that's as funny as it was.
That's really funny. That is really funny. Yeah. But you know, good for you. That's a good.
Yeah, it's flexible. I fell into it entirely accidentally. As so many things in my life are just a happy
weren't you
accident.
like selling Ferraris or something for a while? You were doing something. You were working at some car dealership.
Yeah, so I still am.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we did. Are we supposed to expose that?
No, it's okay.
I
I'm not secretive
again,
about it
still
at all.
looking to camera. Well, because some people are like, "Don't you dare say I have a day job," and I'm like, I think kind of everyone but Julia Roberts has a day job right
Pretty
now.
much. Yeah, and I'm also trying to encourage you guys to help me get out of the day job by signing up for the Patreon. I don't want to have a day job. I only work at Ferrari one day a week.
Oh,
and
I've
I've
been
been
Ferrari. See, I thought
It
I
is
was
Ferrari.
exaggerating,
Yeah.
like for the purpose of a joke.
No, and
then-
I correct people, and people will come up
Yikes.
to me and be like, "Do you work at Porsche?" And I go, "First of all, it's Porsche. Second of all, no, I'm at Ferrari." I just like to just be as much of a
I
scumbag
love
about
it.
it as I can.
I bet. See, now you could back into boat life via Ferrari. You
I
just gotta meet a
could.
guy that has a boat, and it, like if you've got a Ferrari and you don't already own a boat, what are
Yeah.
you doing? Boat is the next step.
Yeah,
it's like
come
figure out
on.
how to get.
Do you even
across
know how to
town.
evade taxes?
Yeah, hello. And if we had better public transportation, I would be with boat sans car.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about a car.
Agreed.
I'll take my dog on the train.
Yeah, that's so true.
Just need a boat, please.
But both were like an accident. So I've been at Ferrari for 12 years, and
Oh wow.
I was.
Do you get one at like 20 or?
I mean, you would think. No, they'll be like, "You're here one day a week. You've
Yeah.
been here for 4 years, technically." And I'll be like, okay.
That's really funny.
This is the second podcast where he's brought his ball on the couch.
Oh, all right.
For the audio listeners, sorry you're not seeing this adorableness that's happening. But yeah, it was just like I was with this temp agency, and sexism really worked in my favor because they called me one
yeah.
day and they were like, "Hey, there's this fancy car dealership that wants quote unquote a cute girl to sit at the front desk." And then they just ended up outright hiring me. And then the notary thing, I worked my like last full-time office job was at an escrow company,
Oh.
which is the most boring business
Yeah, sounds
that has ever
terrible.
existed.
Yeah.
And they forced me to be like the office notary bitch, basically. They like forced me to
Oh.
get licensed so that they could not pay me to do reconveyances all day at work.
Ah.
And then I thankfully had the bright idea of setting out on my own with it because it's a lot more flexible and it's basically the same amount of money.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But
Man,
I'm
I've had
over
like
it.
50 day jobs and I hated it. Now I'm like I technically have day jobs, but I've managed to grab enough like little writing jobs or things like that. Although I'm editing people's clips, if you need some clips clipped up, I'll do that for you. Comics, yeah.
But the special
Anyway.
could change it all. That's the thing. Like, especially
This
with
is the
putting it on YouTube,
thing.
that's been the way that a lot of people have
And
actually blown up
I
now.
had an opportunity to put it on, and look, it might still end up there eventually. There's this newer platform called Punch Up Live, and I was recommended by a friend, and they were interested, but it's a thing where they get a percentage of your sales, so you have to charge for it, and I'm like, "Ew, I'd rather more people see it at
Yeah.
this point in my career. I'd rather more people see it than make money off of it, especially because I got everyone to work for free. So that worked in my favor. Which, by the way, if you're like, I really don't want to watch this special, just go on my YouTube. It's youtube.com/@ Olympian Lisa Curry and just press play and walk away. Just give me the views. I need to hit monetization, which I knew I needed 1,000 subscribers, which I'm on my way to, but I'm not quite there. But I didn't know also to monetize
4,000 hours.
4,000 hours.
Well, I passed the hours, but I'm nowhere near the sub count.
Wait, past the
so-
hours? How did you?
Because I
From-
podcast
oh,
fucking, I
just-
put out 6 episodes a month.
Oh yeah. I just started putting out my podcast on there. So my old podcast, on there. So check that out too. I'm putting old, and it's interesting because I ended it in, 2021, like June 2023. I stopped doing it. And it's weird releasing some of them because I'm like, oh, I don't even talk to this person anymore. So I'm like not asking people to promote it, or I'm not tagging people because I'm just like, it's weird how much your circle changes.
It's true.
And without like, not like any hard feelings or anything. I'm just like, oh, I just totally lost track of that person, or, you know, I couldn't use them for something. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. We know people that do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So get podcasts there too, please.
Yeah.
Does
It's a
it-
weird game.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. And sorry, this is a stupid question that nobody here cares. But I wonder if you like once you. I can't even believe I'm continuing on with the sentence, like, because it's so boring.
It'll be so relatable to me though.
Yeah, just, sing a song in the background or something. Once you like, if I release my special and hit 4,000 hours, then does, like, in the midst of that, do all the views past that monetize? Okay, great. I was like, fuck, what if it hits 4,000 and then I just don't monetize because, or if that video doesn't monetize because it was released before I hit monetization?
No, it should be everything after.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely hit 4,000 hours because you're going to.
Because you guys are
watch
going to help. Yeah. I don't know why I look at that camera like it's going to pick me
Yeah,
up. It's not.
sign up, make YouTube channels for your kids, for your pets, and just watch them all on there constantly. Just
We got to do
like-
what we got to do.
once every couple of weeks or so.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the thing. I'm really counting on some hate watches too. I've recently found out there's somebody that doesn't hate me but is consumed by everything I do. She's like she's like on the periphery of my friend group. Like, she would probably be like, oh yeah, Lisa's my friend. But I'm not that fast and loose with that word. So I would say she's on the periphery. We're more like, we have mutual friends. Anyway, this is such a weird, I have recently found out she is absolutely consumed with my life and will tell mutual friends, like, did you see she did this? What is she doing with this? I can't believe she got this.
It's kind of flattering.
Yeah. Well, here's what's interesting about that. When I first found out, because I always thought like, oh, that would be very flattering. It made me sad initially because I was like, because they were really consumed by like some of the things I'm doing and like, you know, clubs I'm playing at or what. By the way, they've, I think, completely quit doing stand up. So that kind of doesn't make sense to me. But I just thought, man, if she had just reached out and been like, hey, do you have the contact for the, I would have been like, yeah, of course. Obviously. Here you go. Let me help you out. Like, 'cause I'm just, I don't know. I like to help people. Not you guys.
This is the most fourth wall breaking episode I've ever done.
Yeah, I keep looking over to it. If you're not watching this, you're really missing out on some extra jokes here. Anyway, but yeah, flattering and also kind of bummed me out just because I was like, oh, it makes me sad to think. I'm like, I'm not that cool. Like, if you're going to be like consumed with somebody else's success, like Nikki Glazer, Taylor Tomlinson, like just there's so many others that are like, not that you should hate them, but if you're going to be really super hyper focused on somebody else's success, like they're fucking killing it.
Yeah. I always think that I try and I fail, but I try to go into the mindset of when someone's like being weird around me, I'm like, you must just want to avoid so badly dealing with yourself and whatever's going on.
Ooh,
like in her
yeah.
world, it's
Yeah.
just so much easier to go and obsess with something outside because it sucks to look inside. It sucks so bad. It's not fun.
And I think she's in an unfulfilled place in her very long-term relationship. And I think she's in it because of how it presents. I mean, I'm sure she cares about him a lot, but I think it's also for it's a little for show, and that probably doesn't help. Anyway,
We all know
God,
some
what
of
if she's
those.
like tuning in and she's like, I know I know this is me. I know this is about me. And she just like has a can in her hand and she is just like bursts it.
She's crushing a liquid death.
Yeah. On her forehead.
I'm apparently this is so generous, but someone's sending me like a case of liquid death drinks and I never drink them. And I'm like, okay, well, free stuff, I'll take it. Like, I'll drink it. But I got in my head that I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be drinking liquid death because it's like bad, like manifesty reasons. You're like, I shouldn't drink something called liquid death,
yeah.
you know, but that's stupid.
That's really funny.
We should get past that.
I thought you were going to go into like say something about satanic panic or, did you see that video of the woman? Guys, if you haven't seen this, please look it up. There's a woman breaking down why Monster Energy drink is sent by the devil.
No, but I bet I would like that.
Oh,
I agree with her. I've tasted it.
My God. Oh yeah.
Already
That's
off the top,
sure
I'm
satanic.
like, yeah, for sure.
But she finds all this. She was like there's a video of her like presenting at a booth somewhere at some kind of conference, and she's pointing to all this what she thinks is symbolism on the can, which hey, maybe it is. And like the T in Monster is shaped like a cross. And so she was like, the sign of the devil is an upside down cross. And she's like, and what happens when you tip it up?
She has a point.
I think she says bottoms up and the devil laughs. And I'm like, okay, I think it's just a terribly tasting. I think we can all, there's so many weirder and more fucked up things happening,
Yeah. That's so funny. People get on their weird tangents about that. I was just watching I'm trying to catch up on The Rehearsal, the Nathan Fielder show. Did you watch it? Oh
God, yeah, I can't. It's too upsetting for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a gullible person and I'm like, I can't watch these people because it's like it hurts.
It's tough with them, but I had just watched an episode where a guy was very obsessed with the repetition of numbers and he was like really overdoing it. He just kept being like 88. There's 88 on this license plate. Oh, 88 here, 11 here. And he like was so about it. And I go, do I sound that fucking stupid when I get excited about numbers? I mean, I'm not that extreme, but I have some like kind of woo-woo tendencies.
That's really funny. That reminds me, I went to the premiere of that movie, The Number 23 with Jim Carrey. This is years ago. This has to be like 15 years ago, whenever it was. And even sitting, I'm so sorry, Jim Carrey. I know you're
avid listener of the show.
Avid listener and Patreon subscriber. Be like Jim Carrey and subscribe. And I was like, this is the dumbest goddamn movie. Because it's just like him going crazy trying to find all this symbolism in the movie. And you're like, okay. I don't know. To me, 23 is just Michael Jordan. And that's kind of the beginning and the end of the number. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think 23 existed until Michael Jordan came along. I think they just skipped 21, 22, 24. And then they were like, oh, we got to come up with another number. For this, I grew up outside of Chicago in the 90s. I'm still working on growing up, but yeah, huge Bulls fan.
Do you do anything kind of woo woo? Are you spiritual?
Yes and no. It's not spiritual per se. It's more hyperfixations and things born of childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to put my left sock on before my right sock. Now I will say, if I don't like little things like that, but it's not, I've never been worried about it being OCD because it's not to the point where I can't function. And if something is off, when I'm out in the world, if something is off, I don't mind. But like when I'm home, I need like labels to be facing forward in the refrigerator and things like that. And like, I'm also like highly organized, and I'm used to living in small spaces. So I have to have everything in a certain like things only fit together one way. So like I could blindfolded reach into my spice cabinet. I probably have like 50 different spices in there. I do cook a lot, and I blindfolded could grab whatever you tell me to grab because I know exactly where everything's at. But I also meal prep, so I use a lot of the same spices over and over again. So I'm like, all the stuff that goes with my turkey meal is over here. All the stuff that goes with my chicken meal is over here, And that's So all of my woo-woo stuff is like, I do read my horoscope and take it seriously unless somebody's like, that stuff is so dumb, and I'm like, I know, it's just like a funny, like for me it's just like reassuring, and like I know it's fake, but I actually don't think it is. The moon controls the tide. The moon controls the tide, and we are mostly water. You think the moon doesn't fucking affect you? Get serious, okay?
I've seen Neil deGrasse Tyson like debunk that.
Oh,
I used
the
to-
moon with the tide?
Yeah.
He's debunked? That's not a
No,
real
not
thing?
that, but it
Oh.
impacting us.
He's the most annoying person. Whenever somebody references him as like a smart guy, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Because he was somebody like when everybody was on Twitter, you know, somebody would make a joke and he'd be like, well, actually,
that's so annoying.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Get away.
I can't believe he doesn't believe in aliens. That's like very discrediting.
Yeah, that is discrediting, which I didn't used to believe it. And I don't know if I believe in them in like the cartoonish sense that we've come to think of them through, you know, media and whatever. But it is improbable that there's all of these universes expanding out beyond our universe and we're the only life?
No way.
No way. I mean, I have like a
God forbid. Also,
I have a bit about this in my special, actually, about aliens, because I had a teacher that claimed to be abducted by aliens. And when I say claimed to be, I mean screamed at us in class one day that he had been abducted multiple times. But it's a very funny bit. And it's like, I'm not going to tell you where it is in the set. Ew, don't ask. Watch the whole thing. I think, you know, maybe part of my one of my ticks is in my head somebody is having a rebuttal to what I'm saying, and then I respond to that out loud.
You're getting ahead of it. I love it.
I especially do that when I'm addressing non-existent liberals and progressives. I mean, I am progressive, okay? Leave me alone. But sometimes we're a little cuckoo.
There's so many things. I try not to get into fights with people online, but a lot of times I see liberals say things and I just want to be like, you're the reason they hate us. This is because you say things like this.
God,
Stop
I think a recent thing, and please you know what you should do? You should, if you don't like what I'm about to say, you should hate watch my special over it. The whole Sydney Sweeney thing.
Oh my God.
I'm like, it was a play on words. It's not a white supremacist. And then they were like, she was a registered Republican. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, honestly.
Who could possibly care? What are we doing?
Is anyone voting on how Sydney Sweeney is voting? Does any one person go to her and be like, the way that she votes is how I'm voting?
She's also like not. She's like, I think, and it's like, you're just giving the right more fuel when they're like, they hate her because she's got big tits. And it's like,
I mean, yes.
Yeah, obviously.
As someone with no tits, yeah, I hate her. I have a Sydney Sweeney voodoo doll I'm working on right now.
It's also like, yes, she does have great genes.
Yeah.
What?
We can't
Are we
do
all
puns anymore?
on fucking acid now? It's also, she didn't say I have superior genes.
Right.
She didn't Heil Hitler. She was like, I've got great genes whilst wearing jeans. That's the campaign.
The whole thing.
It's like,
I can't believe it. Makes me think. I actually don't know anyone, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that speaks to the quality of my life and the people I have around me. I can't imagine that there's actually a
What a
real
dig.
person that's getting mad at that, though.
what a dig at me personally.
Do you know people that
I
like
can't
really
believe
were mad at
Galena
it?
had me on here just to drag me to hell.
Don't worry, there's a Monster Energy drink when you get there.
Yes, and I can't think of anyone specifically, but I do remember like people I follow posting about, I can't believe this.
That's
Jeans,
crazy.
this is-"
Immediate
and it's
unfollow.
like, this is what you think is white supremacy?
Yeah, come on.
Babe, please. And it's also like, I'm trying to find a way to say it's like if everything is racism, then nothing is. Like there's very
1000%.
serious things
Because
that
you're crying
are-
wolf.
Yes.
You can't cry wolf. This just happened to my friend at
Mm-hmm.
an improv show that she was doing.
Holy.
It was like all just other improv troops. They were just like rehearsing, doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the only one left in the scene who didn't have a role.
Mm-hmm.
And the theme was like commercials, like
Mm-hmm.
old-timey commercials. And her scene partner was like, and here comes Hitler. And she had to be Hitler because you have to yes and.
Yes.
And one girl in the audience got so offended that she ran out crying and then like quit the improv school. And it was exactly this that was so frustrating, was you can't get upset at stuff like that and then expect anyone to take you
make-believe.
serious when there's a real offensive thing going on.
That, and also, you know why you should run out of the theater crying? Because you paid $5,000 to learn how to do zip zap zop.
Yeah, that's
Like that's actually why you should quit. And I say that as somebody that paid $5,000 to learn how to do zip zap zop. Okay.
That's so real.
If you don't know what the reference, don't look it up. You're gonna hurt your brain.
Yeah.
Instead, watch my special. This is becoming insufferable, Lisa. You've got to stop.
It's just it's a poignant thing that people have to pick and choose what you're actually going to get mad about, what
Yeah.
you're actually going to spend your energy doing, and then also making sure that you're a good representative of your group so that you want to inspire people.
yes.
You cannot yell or
Have
shame
some
other people
sense.
into having your opinion.
Yeah, have a little bit of fucking sense. Try to not be so brain dead, and also pause for a second and consider the intention behind what you just witnessed or heard or whatever, like the Sydney Sweeney thing.
Intention
Do you
matters.
fucking think, was it Old Navy or the Gap, or I don't know,
Levi's or
somebody?
something. Yeah, I don't
First
even
of
know.
all,
I don't even know
whoever
the
it
brand.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever it is, they use child labor, so that's actually the upsetting part. And if it's Old Navy, it looks like shit, and that's also the upsetting part. Unless you want to sponsor me, I love Old Navy. Oh my god, I wear it all the time. Great jeans, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, do you really think a fucking multi-million-dollar company, probably billions when you count whatever parent company it is, I don't know, Kraft Foods, who knows anymore, Dow Chemical, listen, I don't need more examples. The joke didn't work. Keep going. But when you do you really fucking think they were like, now is our chance, we're gonna use Sydney Sweeney to further promote
To turn this
white
company into the
supremacy?
Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, it's also like, you know what's upsetting about Old Navy? A really upsetting campaign they had was when they got really into swing dancing in the 90s. That was embarrassing. And that should be condemned to hell. Not just like a hot woman in jeans. Like they're trying to find a sexy way to sell jeans, just like Calvin Klein did with, what was it, 13-year-old Brooke Shields, when she's like insinuating that she doesn't wear panties with her jeans, and like that was a big scandal, but it got you to fucking wear Calvin Klein, anyway. Do you know Calvin Klein invented the thong for runway shows? I just want to let you guys know that. Yeah.
That's a very fun fact. Thank you
Isn't
for sharing that.
Isn't that? You're welcome, everyone. You'll learn all kinds of stuff. You want
This is a masterclass in marketing.
Isn't it? Watch it in case you think I might be throwing out racially charged undertones or something. I don't know.
I had someone accuse me on YouTube on a comedy set. They were insinuating that I was a conservative because I was making fun of Ukraine, where I'm from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because if someone from there can't talk about it, then who can?
Yeah.
But they were like, "Oh, all I need to hear is her saying this, and all her
Oh,
conservative views," and I was like, "Okay."
People, I think this should be federally mandated. People need hobbies. People need to get a hobby, and
Yeah,
that hobby
it's
cannot
tough.
be commenting online. Like, get fresh air. You are killing your brain cells. Go do a puzzle. Play a video game, like get into pottery, like get into plants.
Pickleball
literally
is fun.
anything,
Yep.
anything. That also kind of reminds me. This a while back. There's this girl I went to high school with who's a terrible person. I mean, she grew up wouldn't say her parents were rich, but they bought her a new car when she turned 16. And then the following year, when the convertible version of that car came out, they upgraded her to the convertible and they like helped her buy her house. And like, just, she came from a lot of money and like a crazy Second Amendment family. And she's super racist and she's a horrible person.
I should have her on the podcast.
You should have her on the podcast for sure. And she posted something. I don't remember what this was. This was before I got off of Facebook. So this was years ago and I'm still hanging on to this. She posted a photo like around Halloween time of a tray full of candy. She had arranged to like look like a skeleton or something. Candy. And she was like, Halloween charcuterie, and dead serious. And that's not what charcuterie is. And so I posted it on Twitter and I was like, I said something about this girl I went to high school with posting this charcuterie. The number of comments I got that were like, you're making fun of poor people. And I'm like, bitch, I'm poor people. She's rich people. Rich people can be stupid too. Like it's like, I'm like, you've gone so far to the left, you've come back around where you're just like conflating income with intellect, which is like, I think also one of the major problems with the United States. Sorry, now I'm going into government stuff here, but I'm like, we have to divorce ourselves from the idea that just because somebody is rich, they are smart, because that is how we got Donald Trump in office, because people were like, he's a good businessman. Is he? Have you seen his books? Have you seen that he doesn't pay his vendors? He's been gone bankrupt 10 times or what? He bankrupted a casino. And when people are like, so I'm really getting off topic here, but
there's no topic.
When people are like, Trump did that. When you talk about him bankrupting the casino and they're like, oh, that was a strategy. Is it? Because then why hasn't Steve Wynn done that? Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
It's not a private equity firm.
Yes. And it's like, you're fucking people are so dumb. But
that's how like the powers that be want everybody dumb. That's one of my big conspiracies. Because when you look at
that's a real one.
It's a real one, and it only takes it's like, I really don't argue with people about politics, and a lot of times like there's some places where I'm like all over I'm not like a reliable Democrat. I'm all over the place.
Well, there's things where logic is involved that maybe progressives aren't. Prime example. I said to a friend years ago when there was a thing being floated about like people what was it? Like if you have, I'm forgetting, but it was something about the no-fly list. And it was like, if you've done this, I'm forgetting it. I'm forgetting it entirely. It doesn't matter. Oh my God, please don't turn this off right now. The point is, I was like, oh yeah, I think that's a good thing that, if you're on the no-fly list, you can't get a gun. And I was like, good. First of all, I don't want anyone to have a gun. And I don't care if at this point there's been so many school shootings and mass shootings in the United States that I'm like, I don't even want you to hunt. If you're in Alaska and you're like way out in the wilderness, okay, good. But you don't, if you live in Indiana, sorry, you gave up that right by living in Indiana. I'm from Indiana and you give up a lot of rights living in Indiana. It turns out, especially if you're a lady. Anyway, but then my friend pointed out to me, who's also very progressive, but just had more information than me. She's like, well, the reason that's not fair is there's no protocol for putting somebody on the no-fly list. They can just put anyone on the no-fly list at any time. And so it's like, well, if you're on the no-fly list to the consequence of that, a further consequence of that being having whichever right taken away, that can be a slippery slope to just like, oh, well, Rosie O'Donnell's on the no-fly list, so she's not a citizen anymore, or whatever. That's a joke off of the news from yesterday. It doesn't matter. It's not evergreen.
No, it's okay. It's just a matter of like, people just don't even want to look up, and everyone's like so reliant on ChatGPT now. But all I like to do is look up the 10 states in the country with the least education and the highest fertility, or like the highest infant mortality rates, the highest poverty rates. Like they're all traditionally red states. They've all been red for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it worked, it would work.
Yeah.
Look at all these states that have been doing it for a long time and are the lowest on the list for how much money they make, how much education they have, their baby survival rates. Like, we have states in this country that are operating worse than third world countries.
Yeah. Yikes.
Like, irrefutably.
Yeah. It's here's the thing. I think that that's also why Americans are not encouraged to travel.
Yeah.
Because it's like, here's another thing. And I don't mean to, I hope the people that come to mind right now are not listening. You're from Ukraine. You understand Russia. I've been to 26 countries. That is a brag. Yes. One of them that I've been to twice that I fucking love is China. And I love China because it's weird and it's different. And I like going to, I love the Middle East because I like places that don't feel like here. Europe feels like here. They're listening to the same goddamn music. You can get a lot of the same food, like for the most part. But I'm seeing this uptick in progressives online being like, China's so much better than us. This percentage of people own a home. And I'm like, no. Like, you are lapping up Chinese propaganda. You are fine. You are, as much as the MAGA people were eating up Russian propaganda, there are progressives now eating up Chinese propaganda. And it's like, do you know, you go to China and you don't have freedom of speech. Like, arguably we don't fully have it at times. Because of Trump and because of the way he's going after people personally and whatever. But they don't have social media there. And it's not because they're protecting people. It's because, like, you go over there and you can have all the apps on your phone. And I can say this as somebody who's been there fucking twice. You have the apps and you go to click on it, nothing comes up because it doesn't matter if you're on the goddamn internet. And they also have, this is a fun thing for everyone's new favorite country. They have QR codes on the outside of Muslim people's houses. And there's a government official that goes around and scans the QR code. And they're like, Muhammad got home at 8 p.m. last night. Wow. And we saw him with this. Like, they track their movements and like, that's happening. And they also have, like, as annoying as credit scores are here, they have a different thing that is
social scores, right?
Yeah. And it's connected to everyone you're friends with. So if my score is 100 out of 100, it would be, as mouthy as I am, I would be in prison immediately. But if let's say my score was 100 and I'm connected to Galena and, Galena gets into a fender bender that they decide is her fault. So her score goes down. My score goes down by knowing her. And by the way, this is also folded into dating and where you were. It's like,
we wouldn't be able to be comedians.
Your education. No, we would all be in jail.
Yeah, for sure.
We would have such low scores.
It would be such a fun jail, though. We would like start an open mic and get the guards involved.
There is also like, sure, there's like, maybe there's a higher percentage of people who own homes, but there's also like extreme poverty, like babies shitting in the streets poverty. Like, you go to the Great Wall, like look, it's a gajillion miles long. I didn't see all of it. I didn't walk the whole thing. Okay. I went like where, tourists go. And one thing that struck me when I went was there's just like, it's kind of like the Santa Monica Pier where there's like near homeless people selling tchotchkes to you and like chasing you down and trying to sell you a t-shirt. And it's like that's the reality. And there's a lot of ramshackle places in China. They also have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And innovation. And there's good and bad in every single country. But this thing where progressives are now like, China's the ideal. I'm like, you unfortunately are a victim of propaganda. And like, please read. As much as you're encouraging MAGA people to read, you need to as well.
Yeah.
Reading,
it's like not an empathy pill, but it's as close as you can get.
Yes. And go travel, please leave. Because I'm telling you, if you going to another country is not that scary. If you want to figure it out and you're like, I've never been and I don't know how to go, DM me. I will help you. You literally just go online and you book a plane ticket and you show up at the airport. You get a passport. It's very simple. It's not that hard. I promise you. You will see, America's not even close to the best country. And as much as I've traveled, I am more scared to drive across like rural Arkansas at night by myself than I am to be in the Middle East by myself.
Well, in Japan, you can just like leave your purse on the sidewalk and no one's going to take it.
Japan, they leave children out and everybody's like...
Because they have a community mindset and we don't here. Everything is very individualistic.
Everything is individualistic, yeah. And it's like pounded into our heads that's the way to be. And it's like, hey, it's not natural to be individualistic.
Even somewhere as close to us culturally as England, even they grow up more in this like kind of realistic mindset where they don't, and maybe it's different now, but I feel like they're so much less likely to have this mindset. And granted, maybe it's hypocritical to say this as like a content creator, but they're just more like, oh, well, I'm going to go be an engineer, or I'm going to go be a doctor, I'm going to go do whatever, because they don't assume that they're going to have a spotlight on them. Whereas like in American culture, you're raised, and I saw this statistic just yesterday about how it's like 80% of Gen Z just wants to be an influencer. I'm like, 80%?
That's scary.
Okay, so who's going to do every other job?
What are we influencing?
I do this because I have no other skills. Not because I want this.
I do this because I didn't get all the attention I needed when I was a kid. So hug your kids. Otherwise, and if you want a warning of like where your kids could be if you don't hug them, watch my special. Oh my God, my tits are almost out of this dress. Patreon. I have a complex theory about that specifically. I think it's largely connected to us not having universal health care. Go with me here. Because in England, your needs are reasonably met. You can get around the city for not much. It's kind of like New York. You get a fucking pass for the month and it's a set. I'm paying or was paying when I had a car very recently, like $700 a month for a Kia Forte and insurance, the literal cheapest car on the market with insurance. And that's not including gas, repairs. It's just like $700 a month is a fucking lot of money. And if you're taking the subway around in New York, what is it, like $150 a month? Like, it's probably more than that. Please don't. If you want to correct me, watch my special. Okay, this is getting out of control, Lisa. This is really, you've crossed a line. But I think like their basic needs in the UK are largely met at like a much lower threshold here, where in order to survive, to be comfortable here, and I don't mean like rich, I mean like reasonably, like you can take a vacation once or twice a year, and I don't mean even stay at the Four Seasons. I mean, you should be able to vacation. It is a brain worm that Americans have that there's all of our pride is in working ourselves to the
Hustle
bone.
culture, yeah.
And like all of the pride is in like, I never take a day off. Okay, that's pathetic.
It is.
I have an aunt. She's evil, so I can say this about her. She's like 70, and she's always bragging, I work so hard and I have all these jobs, and it's like, oh, that's actually shameful. You should about that, because that is embarrassing for you, you know? But I think because you pretty much have to fucking win the lottery to have reasonable comfort here. So I think everyone in the United States is like, how do I hit the lottery?
Right.
And
I like that.
It's
Remember
like,
when I asked you if you had a conspiracy theory?
yes.
And you're like,
oh, thank you.
No.
Oh, I have another one too. I have two other ones. But I'm like, I think that is part of it, because I think people are just chasing like, okay, I need a get rich quick thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at the lottery. Look at how many. My parents are the two most susceptible people on earth to get rich quick schemes, and it kills me. They've lost everything twice, and I'm just like, fuck, you know. And I think that also is why a lot of poor people vote Republican. Because in my mom, and I call it the hillbilly version of The Secret, because my mom thankfully voted for Biden, but she voted for Trump the first time around.
I
And
get
she's
that.
like,
I get
sure.
what he sold people. I get it, of like
Yeah.
the promise to drain the swamp and the promise to do things
The-
differently.
If
But
you're
it's like,
only looking at the surface,
Yeah.
and he's like, hey, I'm an outsider. Are you tired of politicians?
Right.
You're fucking right. I'm tired of politicians. That, and also he said things that, look, obviously he was lying through his teeth about everything he did. And obviously I think he's the world's most successful con man. However, when he was like, Hillary knew better than to vote against or vote for the Iraq war, she fucking did. She did. And how many Democrats that were aligned with her were like, oh, I mean, how could she have known? Okay, so she's one of the most brilliant politicians she's one of the most brilliant women to ever hold public office. And also she was a big dum-dum when it came. No, I'm sorry. I do think she is very smart. And everybody that voted for it knew better. They all fucking knew better. And that has come out. So it's like, anyway, sorry, not to, I'm getting way off topic here, but I call it the hillbilly version of The Secret, where people think like, oh, I'm like one stroke of luck away from being a multimillionaire. And it's like, you're actually not. Not at all. Not even close.
Yeah.
And so they vote in line with these people because they have more sympathy for them, because it's like,
they think
it's
they're
like
them.
our boat thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to walk around by these boats and we're going to get boat rides. And we are, to be sure. But it's kind of that same mentality of like, if I just align myself with these people, I become them. And it's like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it's not going to rub off on you by standing next to them.
It's not. And I know that because I've been around a lot of rich people. And if anything, they suck you dry with anger.
That they do.
You want to hear my other conspiracy theories?
Yeah, do one more. We have time for one more.
Okay. One more. Which one? Okay. This one. Well, one I talk about in my set, so you'll have to come and see that live. Another one I have is, you know how people get all these like bots messaging them, and they're like, guys get this all the time, and they're like, hey, this is Melissa. Is this Chad's phone? Is it okay if I text you my tits? Like, and so many people are like, haha, owned them. I wrote them back and I said this. I think when people are writing them and engaging with these accounts, you are training AI. That's my conspiracy. That they're purposefully sending these out to people because they know people will engage with them, to be like, haha. They don't think you're actually going to, like, we all know one person who might believe it, but the 99% of people will reply because they're like, look at the joke I did. And it's like, oh no, you're training AI. I think that's my conspiracy theory.
That's a good one too.
Thanks.
Well, that's why I don't worry about microplastics, because I think AI will get me way before the microplastics does.
We're going to get bombed by Saudi Arabia before microplastics get us.
So stop buying colostrum. It's overpriced. It's just protein.
I don't even know what that is, but don't buy
It's
it.
It's $125 can of powder at Erewhon.
Oh,
yeah.
No. Galena and I have powders to sell you.
We do, for
that
much
will fix
cheaper.
everything in your life. Yeah. It's just flour.
Well, Lisa Curry, thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Please tell people where they can find you.
Oh, you know where you can find me? You're not going to believe this. YouTube.com /@ Olympian Lisa Curry. And it's Olympian Lisa Curry because she's an Olympic gold medalist named Lisa Curry, and she took our name on all socials, so I took Olympian. There's actually a bit about that in my special that's coming out September 17th.
I love that so much. Thank you for coming back on.
Thanks so much.
Of course, and thank you everybody for listening. Bye.